Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Salem by Night Chronicle here on Twitch. Tonight's chapter is an Anarch chapter, and last we left off with our coterie. We saw that Erickson Wood had stayed behind to kind of check the table as Mustang and Andreas booked for the backstage area, chasing the band, and who they believed to be Yvette Morrison and Andrew Givens. Erickson had a short but quaint discussion with Antoine Malcolm Davies. He revealed that Manny had told him they were looking for him, and that's when Erickson kind of made a note of that and walked away, kind of opening up the origami crane that he found, and then remembered that this was usually used by people trying to send a message for upcoming deaths, as it were. We shifted over to Mustang and Andreas, where they saw that there were two dressing rooms in the backstage area. One was open. The band was kind of relaxing with some of their groupies. That's when Andreas took the initiative to kind of feed for the evening, to lower that ever menacing hunger that sits in the stomach of all our vampires. So Mustang investigated by herself, found that there was noises coming from the second dressing room, and opened it to discover that Yvette Morrison was sitting there sniffing some very expensive wine. She told her that there might be a job for the coterie, a task that needed to be done, and that's when Erickson kind of bumped into Mustang in the backstage area. Two of them learned that there is a ministry member who has come into the city unannounced, named Bahadur ibn Abbasi. He was described as being similar to Saif Najjar, and made him the priority over Andrew Givens. She asked to bring him to the Elahe Country Club that belongs to a friend of hers, and she gave the coterie 3 days to find him and set up a meeting for the 14th. They asked to be allowed to continue chasing Givens, but again, she didn't put an emphasis on it. And that's when the group kind of met up again. They went up to talk to Antoine about the situation. He threw a couple of crumbs out into the water to see if our resident Ravnos would kind of react to getting called out. But like a stoic motherfucker, he did not. Kind of at a moment, they tried to figure out what was going on. They felt like they were being given the runaround, and after having some reassurances that Antoine was only talking to Yvette Morrison at his table, and how they might have been delusioned into believing that Andrew Givens was there, they went back to try and investigate outside, and that's when they discovered that the bloody shirt and jacket that Erickson had been rolling around with had been taken. There was a window breaking moment of high intensity, and then a curt apology and some money being left behind to take care of it. There were some wheels of a car that looked like it might have taken off in a hurry. Mustang discovered that they were a rear wheel drive kind of car, something stretched, though not a regular sized car. Saw puddle that looks like a foot had kind of stepped into, and saw the oblong kind of triangle with a circular stop behind it of a small heeled shoe. And that's when Andreas kind of offered up to go looking for this ministry member through any of the contacts that he has in the city, which would mean going to the Free Souls. And that's when Mustang and Erickson went back up. They saw that Davies was in a meeting with somebody who introduced himself as Michelangelo Arturo Bonelli. And that's when it was revealed that Bonelli is in town for an art exhibit, and that Davies is looking to purchase some of the pieces. Bonelli made it known that he was looking for certain items that used to be found at the last call bar and asked if uh, Erickson is the person to touch base with, and a resounding yes was nodded. And then the question of where do you get the things that he might be looking for came up after the fact, which is always my favorite moment. But Mustang and Erickson returned to the bar, noticed that there was only a single cruiser left behind to kind of keep an eye on the crime scene. We got to see Mustang play up the damsel in distress and use one of her mind abilities, dominate in particular, as she used a forgetful mind on the poor cop that was awake. Erickson found a locked drawer with a blood rose and a set of files inside of it. Mustang found one of the secret rooms had been flooded in the bar itself, but she was handed the files. They kind of set themselves in the safe room, and as morning was approaching, all 7 files that Erickson had found, Mustang realized that she had seen the names before, back from her days in Boston, and working with Frankie the Crow, out on the East Coast. And this is where we're going to pick up with everybody. It's good to see you guys again.
Hello, hello.
So before we pick up on June 12th, because it is still June 11th, 1984, we're going to pick up with the end of the evening on Andreas' side, as we see him pull up in his motorcycle to Hayesville in the north part of Salem. There is a bar off of Hyacinth Street and 25th Avenue called The Vagabond. A bunch of bikes are out there. Some of the free souls are at the outside tables, kind of drinking, smoking. There's a loud, raucous kind of greeting as they see you come in, or they see you pull up. And you see Shepard kind of finish a half glass that he might have of beer, and he stands up, kind of ready to discuss whatever needs to be discussed with you.
All right. Start off just taking my couple minutes making the rounds of the boys, making sure everyone's all right.
Yeah, there's a lot of resounding hey, 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 hey. A lot
Just
of
decided,
yeah, a lot of good talk about having August back and how they've noticed that he's got a little bit more pep to him.
yeah, give him enough time. I'm sure he can bounce back from anything, and it is good to have him back. Like been my first success this entire time.
Mhm.
All right, so let me get Shepard over, and we got to start looking for. Oh, let's got to put the feelers out for this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, but he sidles up next to you as you walk into the bar, and he kind of gives you the rundown. He's like, I managed to get as many people as I could. We're over at the Roadway Inn. Well, they're over at the Roadway Inn. I got the trailer out back just in case. He kind of holds up his hand, and you see the young woman behind the bar, the blonde hair kind of being blown out of the face. She kind of looks up and nods, and with a very loud pop, you see a bottle cap kind of fly over her shoulder, and she just tosses the beer bottle in his direction, and he catches the Coors in one hand. And you see that he's kind of caught a little off guard, but he's just like, yeah, thanks, man. And she kind of nods at him.
Is this somebody I know, or is she new to me too?
No, this is Natalia.
Oh, Natalia.
Yep.
Okay. I think you made a friend there, Shepard.
Better to be on the good side than the bad side, from what I hear.
Yeah, just don't go anywhere alone with her.
Oh, okay.
Just
But
consider it a suggestion, old buddy.
yeah, he leads you over to a free table, and he kind of sits there on one of the stools. You've been gone a bit. Everything all right?
Business as usual. one problem pops up, or one problem gets solved, 3 more pop up.
Yeah.
We're going to be on the hunt again this time.
Oh yeah.
Not an escort. We're looking for information more than anything else. Some chucklehead. Let me see what the. I'm about to write this name down for you. Bahadur Ibn Abbasi. Abbasi.
I don't want any Greek. Thanks.
I don't think he's Greek. You're looking. Honestly, this fella might seem a little more of the Egyptian variety, but
One of those.
yeah,
All
probably perhaps some snaky jewelry. Maybe kind of get the feeling you've gotten that look from a snake before when you see him.
right.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll trade you then. And you see him pull out 2 pictures. Excuse me. One of them is of this kind of long-faced, very pointed featured, black-haired Italian gentleman. Um, and on the back it just says Nico. And the other one is this kind of fuller, rotund, almost like Abe Vigoda in his youth, but with that same kind of gravitas to his face. And the back of this one says Teddy. He's like, these two have been asking about us. They've been asking about Bartley too,
Nico and Ted. Why did Teddy sounds familiar? Why does that sound?
because of the vampire. The Nosferatu is named
Yeah,
Teddy.
yeah. Theodore. Yeah, Theodore.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't know who Nico is, but
yeah. They've been asking about Bartley. They've been asking about Old Man Barlow.
what'd you tell him?
That we would find out what we could about them.
Okay. Well, he didn't know. He doesn't need to know shit about Bartley. Hell, I don't know shit about Bartley these days.
Oh, well,
After he took off the last time, I haven't heard from him since.
yeah, he's in the wind as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no, that's where he's going to stay until he wants to be seen. It's for goddamn sure.
Understood.
All right, so we're gonna have to figure out who this Nico fellow is. But Teddy, well, Teddy's looking for some shit. So are the rest of the Nosferatu in the city. So that's nothing much we can do about that aside from keeping our mouths shut, especially near sewer grates.
The picture of the one marked Teddy is not the Theodore that you have met in the alley. This is clearly both of them are human.
Okay, could this be Teddy before his embrace or something? I mean, I don't know how
Maybe.
old he is.
Maybe.
I'm just gonna tie those strings together. Okay, so we'll have to figure out who the hell these guys are who are looking for Bartley and me. That's other thing.
They didn't call you by name, but they were looking for Bartley by name. They were looking for Old Man Barlow by name. Uh, they had a picture, of you. They had a picture of that classy fellow you've been hanging out with, and they had a picture of that girl you're with.
More recent photos of us, or something that looked like files. It looked like surveillance.
Um, Nah, of you it looked older, kind of like just shy of Woodstock, I would say. Shit, it could have been Woodstock for all I know. Um, the senator looked like it was one of his campaign posters,
Okay.
uh, but the girl definitely looked different. It was a day shot too, so it definitely must have been before whatever happened to you happened to her.
Okay, so these people are able to get some old information on us. They got something old and grainy of me. Let's talk. Yeah, that's 16, 17 years ago. Yeah, some sources there. Okay. I don't think we're in any deeper shit than we usually are. But all right, see what you guys can find out about this Bahadur individual.
All right, put August on it if you want.
Mm, yeah, tell him to be discreet and indirect. And if he gets any major leads on this, tell him not to chase them down himself. He's got to come back to us.
All right. Um, he has been mentioning that and he leans in close to you and he's just like he says that he can see ghosts.
He can what?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, but
Where is he?
he's off with his girl.
Shit. Okay. Well, okay. Next time he comes through, let him know I want to talk to him.
Hmm.
Seen ghosts. Damn this thing.
You don't see ghosts, right? Like that's not something that's gonna affect me in some way, shape, or form, right?
No, no, no. We don't. I mean, to my knowledge, I don't see ghosts. We make ghosts sometimes.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
stick around long enough, I'll make you show you how to make people think they saw ghosts. But those are parlor tricks.
All right. Takes a big swig of his beer and he points the tip of it over to what looks to be the most out of place gentleman in the bar. It is what looks to be this old timey banker. Like it's a three-piece suit. He has his jacket kind of folded over the side of the table. Excuse me. And there's a pocket watch kind of sitting on top of it. And he's looks like he's nursing a drink. But he's kind of looking over some paperwork, signing some things.
Mhm.
Right. We've been here the last couple days, and he seems to have an interesting, I guess the word would be repertoire with Nat. Rapport is the word, maybe? I don't know. It's trying to be fancy.
I believe the term is rappered.
All right. Duly noted. But he's been giving me the vibes that you and the rest of your friends give me.
Okay. I'll probably have to go deal with him then. Y'all can stay here, Shepard. And by the way, it's rapport. I'm fucking with you.
Right. Fuck, I almost said report. I was about to be fancy with Franklin outside.
The others are silent.
But yeah,
All right.
he
So,
tips the beard in your direction and kind of nods and makes his way outside again.
okay. So, taking a closer look at Homeboy in the three-piece suit.
Hmm.
Uh, does this look like what he really looks like, or am I staring at someone else's obfuscation? Maybe.
Give me a wits and awareness roll. First roll of the night.
Yeah. That's not about. Okay. What's my hunger currently at?
One.
All right. Yeah. Because I ate.
Yeah, you fed.
Good. 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 All right. So 6 with 100. Ooh, nice. Okay. The hunger die is 7. Then 3, 6, 5, 9, and 9. So 3 successes, or 4 successes, including the hunger.
Yep, four successes. It is not an obfuscation. It is not a trick of the light. It is he is in that gray slate shirt, vest, jacket, and slacks, and he has that white button-down shirt and that kind of matching just off black tie. Like slithers into the closed vest.
Mm.
But he sees you looking at him and kind of nods in your direction.
I incline my head towards him. Hmm. All right, heading up over to the bar, grabbing another drink for myself for appearance's sake.
Okay. And that pops open an O'Doul's. And
Good idea.
she
No
just
wasting the good shit on
yeah,
us.
and she just smiles.
No, you don't drink. All right, let's go ahead. Let's head on over to my good friend, the accountant-looking fella,
Yep.
suspiciously snaky accountant-looking fella.
Mm. but you see him close, like he finishes the paperwork that he's on and closes the file folder and kind of slides it under his jacket. You be Mr. Barker.
The most? Who do I have the pleasure of addressing?
Excellent. And you see one of his feet kind of slide the chair in front of him out for you. My name is Richard Stephen Thompson. I'm
All right. Yeah, I turn the chair around and pull a Riker on it, sitting
yeah,
back across the back of it.
I'm new in town. I'm a New York City boy originally. Grew up in the South a bit. You know, uh, I've heard that you've been chasing a kinsman of mine. I'm here to offer my help in any way that I can.
Kinsman of yours. Now, I've been hunting a lot of people over the last month or so. Be a little more specific.
Oh, I think you would know this person because you've burnt two of his establishments.
Your kinsman wouldn't happen to have the last name Gibbons, would he?
Unfortunately, he does.
Mm. Well, then, assistance might be exactly what we need in this sort of situation. But especially with events of the past years, you warlocks have been very tight knit with one another. Why the change of heart?
Miss Rabot has excommunicated Mr. Givens. He is no longer part of the fraternity.
No longer part of the fraternity. Has he gone off on his own? Has he joined some of your friends in the Sabbat?
No, no, and we don't we don't subscribe to the idea that the Sabbat exists anymore. I mean, they're around, but they're just not as organized as they were. I'd be more afraid of Anarchs right now than Sabbat.
Those anarchs can be a frightening bunch.
Mr. Barker, how much do you know about what we have done here in the city? What Mr. Givens has done in the city in particular?
Well, we've been following it for some time. Well, to the best of my knowledge, he's managed to create he's be able to create high speed transportation around the city by the use of these weird mirrors, and has been doing some sort of blood magic experimentation that I don't think sits well with most of your clan, because whenever it's brought up, there's nothing but shock and disappointment.
Correct. And he pulls out some of the pictures. He pulls out three pictures from the file folder he was working on. Um, and you can see the kind of what's it called? The torture room that he had underneath the flower shop.
Mm.
And he kind of points out the ruins that were painted in blood around the walls that he's photographed. And he points out the three in particular. He's like that are circled. I don't know how familiar you are with sorcery, the blood sorcery that we have concocted in our time in the Camarilla, but these are not part of our, shall we say, hermetic approved list of runes.
So, is there an unapproved list of runes this is on, or does this look like something he's created himself? I mean, uh, I'm a I'm a layman when it comes to this sort of blood magic thing. So the only thing I knew was kill it with fire.
Sure, and that will always work. Uh, no, there's no list of unapproved runes, although wizards will often go off on their own experimenting. They can't that curiosity can't be stopped. I'm sure you understand that more than anybody here. You see him kind of smile. Mr. Barker, these are demonic in nature.
So as evil as we get, your friend Andrew Gibbons just found one deeper, huh?
Yes, unfortunately. These are these look to be reminiscent of warning runes used for Nephilim.
Nephilim.
Yeah. Biblical concoctions, the culmination of the divine being in an angelic form and the mundane being a human form. We think Juliet has reason to believe that Andrew has been trying to achieve godhood or the next best thing.
Well, we certainly haven't seen anything approaching godhood yet. Or some at this at this particular flower shop, there was actually a real horrifying creature he was trying to create, but
Mm.
apparently it wasn't very heavenly because a shotgun took care of that thing.
Small mercies.
Small mercies, big exit wound. So, what kind of help are you offering? Because honestly, we've seen him multiple times, including most recently. I think, sorry, most recently was earlier this out of character. This was earlier this evening that we saw
Yep,
him,
yep.
or that we saw him. Yeah. So even earlier this evening, despite being told otherwise, we're positive we saw him with some of the other local Tremere.
Hmm. Are you a betting man? And you see him pull out a coin, and he kind of flicks it up into the air, catches it, and slams it down on the back of his right fan. It's a tails, Mr. Barker.
Okay, do a little something here. I'm gonna call heads, and I'm also gonna make sure that coin looks like heads.
Oh, we're using chemistry.
Hmm.
Okay.
Like he said, magician.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna have a rouse check.
All right. What am I rolling?
One die.
Huh? 6.
Okay. So yeah, so you pull the blood, you start to kind of pull on the magical energies inside of you. Uh None of it calls the beast to action. It kind of it lingers there in the periphery, but it is kind of paying attention to what you're doing. You can sense it looking, trying to see through your eyes what your plan is here. Uh, and sure enough, Richard pulls the hand free, and there it is. The coin is showing heads. And he's like, "All right, you are the man for the job after all." And he just slides the coin across the table to you.
Mhm. Pick it up.
It's a double-headed coin.
I was gonna roll. Yeah, I was rolling through my fingers. I'm like, if it's two tailed or two headed.
Yeah. Uh, but he's like, that should help you find Mr. Givens anytime he's within your vicinity. The coin has a 100-foot radius, so you will have to be close to him. But
Well, what sort of thing does it do if he's close by?
it'll warm up.
Okay. Should I be keeping this in my hand, or will the pocket be okay?
Pocket's fine.
Okay.
You remember what it feels like to hold hot coffee in your hand? Like piping hot coffee? That's how hot it gets.
Ah, it's been decades and the European forest away, but yes.
Excellent. So that should help in any way, shape, or form. It the enchantment on the coin only lasts until the next full moon, unfortunately. So, oh, sorry, the next new moon,
Mm,
as the full moon is going to be happening in a couple days.
okay. So well, I mean, we've had limited time to find him from the get go, but this will be of immense help because if they're trying to tell us that we were crazy to see him earlier tonight, I have no other way to confirm.
Hmm.
This may come very good handy indeed. Well, since you managed to find the hideout of my boys here, I'll let you know that if you need to get a hold of me again, get a hold of anyone with this symbol on the back of their jacket, I guarantee you they'll have the message to me within 24 hours.
Mr. Barker, it is by no means coincidence that I have found you. Uh, Natalia is my ghoul. This is something that has been acquired within the last year, uh, and I'm ashamed to say that I have kind of dropped enough subliminal messaging to try to get your group out of this part of the town.
Well, man, you didn't have to burn down a whole bar.
Oh, that wasn't me.
I know.
Out of the two of us, you're the one with the penchant for fire.
That is very true. Twice proven so far.
Hmm.
3 times when I find your friend Andrew.
I hope that this is the beginning of a working relationship, however, Mr. Barker. So, if you ever need anything from me, please feel free to reach out to Natalia.
Hmm?
He picks
Well,
up.
it's good to know I was trying to extend you hospitality in your own home. That's
Yeah.
I'll
So,
go ahead, take my foot out of my mouth, pretend to finish this beer.
consider it inverted, and you have my hospitality at your disposal. Picks up his coat and file folders. You have yourself a good night, Mr. Barker.
Cheers.
And he takes his drink and walks over to the bar and sits down at the end of the bar.
I'm going to roll the coin through my fingers a few times. Just can't believe I wasted my time creating fucking heads on the 2-headed coin.
And as you're winding down for the evening, you've set your gears in motion. We'll set up for the next evening. We wake up in the safe room with Mustang and Erickson. The names on the file folders, in case you want to write them down, are Frankie Crow, Giancarlo Carlitos Esposito, Giovanni Vinny De Luca, Graziano Ziggy Moretti, Dante Teddy Romano.
I don't know how fast you think I can write, but
Yeah, it's very fast.
Yeah,
Esposito?
this
did I hear Giancarlo Esposito?
Giancarlo Esposito. Yeah,
Despacito.
yeah.
No. That's I'll talk to Gus Fring. I'm like, this is my Easter egg reference for the evening. I'm loving that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, this is from Mustang more than anybody. Dante Teddy Romano, Fiorello Alfredo Rossi.
Esposito.
Okay.
Next.
Giovanni Vinny De Luca.
Okay.
Graziano Ziggy Moretti.
Okay.
Dante Teddy Romano.
hmm
Fiorello Alfredo Rossi.
Longer names, please.
Right?
Uh-huh.
You're gonna love the last name. Domenico Nico Marino. That's
Marino.
that's the 7.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6. No, Frankie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes.
Yeah. Frankie, Carlitos, Vinny, Ziggy, Teddy, Alfredo, and Nico.
Yeah. Oh, I have their first names. Was it? I couldn't get their middle names.
Okay.
Their little names.
Yeah.
First names, please. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Yeah, so Franklin, Giancarlo, Giovanni, Graziano, Dante, Fiorello, and Domenico.
Amazing.
But all of them are from Boston or New York, Maryland, that area.
Do I recognize any of the other names other than Frankie's?
You've heard of Vinny De Luca. You've heard of Alfredo Rossi. And you've heard of Nico Marino.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who are they?
They were associates of Frankie. They were big time kind of not traffickers, but they were definitely smugglers. They're definitely kind of moving things from one place to another was their specialty.
Yeah, that's my job.
Have I ever met any of these people in person?
Probably you've probably been in the room with them, but you've never been introduced to them.
I wouldn't know them if I saw their face. I couldn't put a name to a face
No.
for any of them.
No.
Okay. Cool.
But the file folders have what looks to be their police records. It's very formal, very kind of like itemized. Um, it's all kind of police reports. You can see different detectives and police officers that you've dealt with in the past from Boston.
Hmm. So does it look like this is like a Frankie dossier, like his known associates?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, like someone was looking into Frankie
looks like it.
specifically. Okay. What's on Frankie's file?
Frankie shows the whole situation with him kind of coming up in the mob. There's a bunch of different kind of annotations for things that happened to him. Uh, and then there's a period where there's maybe 2 years after he opened the Crows Club. Um, and then it starts back up with, getting caught, uh, or being the prime suspect in a situation where weapons were found coming into the harbor. Uh, but it's never drugs. It's never been drugs with him. It's always been like weapons, kind of violent callbacks. You know, he's been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Nothing's ever gotten to stick to him, but he's always been in places where like people were attacked, where it looks like messages were sent, for lack of a
Okay.
better term.
Okay. As I look through Frankie's file, does all of this kind of ring true to what I know has happened in the past? Is any of this fabricated
No,
in
everything
any
everything
way?
everything looks
Legit.
legit, and there's an annotation during the 2 year period after he opened the club, um, where there's a little post-it note that says "legit?" question mark. But then you also notice as you're digging that there's an obituary for the woman that he introduced you to that night.
Man, what was her name? What was her name?
But it shows that the
Oh,
service was being overseen by a sister Margaret Holly.
okay. Um, how up to date is this file? Like, is it has it been a couple years since it's been updated?
Yeah,
Are there any?
yeah.
Okay,
The
so
last update is 1980.
4 years. So it's a 4-year-old file. Um,
Also, could the two of you roll a die for me? As you have to rouse to wake up.
just one.
Just one.
Great.
Yeah.
10.
Okay.
All right, 9.
Okay. So yeah, both of you managed to wake up and not incur the wrath of the beast inside.
For now.
For now.
I, you know, pretend like I just woke up from a long rest,
Yeah.
and look over to see Mustang. Mustang, do you? I don't know if you woke up before me. I don't know if you were already looking through the dossier. If you're still looking through the papers.
Sleep just a second ago, right?
Yeah.
Right, well.
Erickson has a humanity 6. Mustang has humanity 8. Mustang would have woken up first.
Dying.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I was reading that while you
Yeah.
were sleeping.
Yeah. Like Mustang probably wakes up the second the sun goes down. Like the second it disappears beyond the horizon, and there's still that little kind of yellow and red and orange kind of thin line on the horizon that's just being pushed away by the purple, black, blue of the evening, like that's when she wakes up. Whereas like Erickson, it's like it's full on dark by the time he gets up.
Okay.
Like there's no vestige of light left.
Well, good evening, Mustang. My, did you catch up on any light reading?
Bit.
Uh, I couldn't make heads or tails of that. I don't know if that made any sense to you.
Will, is there anything in the file about me?
There is your name is listed among the associates that were available to him at the time that the Crows Club was open, along with like the two knuckleheads that kind of hung out with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is it Mustang? Or is it
No, it is the other name.
okay, cool.
Yeah, so I would have never noticed it, even if I read the paper anyway.
Yep.
Right, yeah. That's what I was trying to
In other words,
get at.
just skirting around the truth. That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even the names of the two guys like that were there with you aren't the names that you knew them by.
But I did know their real names.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Trying to decide what to tell Erickson.
I know.
You
Whether or not you're
do,
going to lie to me this time.
yeah, right to his face. You do notice that one of the owners, listed under the owners of the Crows Club, is not only Frankie, but also Giovanni De Luca is listed as one of the owners, but Nikolai Barlow is listed as one of the owners.
Yeah.
I should have read those papers.
Yeah. That was from that deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, it seems like some kind of dossier for some guys there in Boston or something.
Well, I wonder why Sam would have all that information, especially in a locked area. But I mean, it's just all it is just information on just what? Just one person, few people, I guess.
Few people, probably some known associates of each other. Probably some just kind of smuggling, it seems like. Weapons. Can't really make heads or tails of it.
And I start looking around and I go, yeah, I vaguely remember now that you mentioned weapons, I think I agreed to something that I should have thought about before. And
Nelly.
yeah. So, well, I mean, you're saying weapons. That is this new information? Are these people located here? Maybe, uh, because I at this point I'm gonna need. At this point, it sounds like either I'm gonna be telling this guy the truth when he gets here, which is I have no idea what's going on, or I got to come up with something real quick.
He's here to look at and collect art, isn't he?
He also reached out to us, well, to me, and since I am now I'm the owner of this establishment. Apparently, there were some dealings that were happening here that I know, which, by the way, I should know what's been going on there. I've gone to the bar before several times. Sam knows who I am. I would know at least some kind of operation she would be running, correct?
Yeah. The safe room in the back, the one with the cots was to hide people. So runaways, things like that, people that needed to get away.
Smugglers. Okay.
Not smugglers. She never smuggled people. She just helped people who needed to get out. It was very kind
Like a
of
safe house.
yeah. It was very Underground Railroad kind of thing.
It was consensual smuggling.
Yeah.
Yes.
They wanted
So
to be smuggled.
It's smuggling with extra steps.
Yeah. And you didn't know that she would run weapons out of the shop, out of the bar.
Okay. So I'm guessing it's the latter of the two. I don't think he's. To be quite honest, I have no idea. I was so flustered with what the hell happened yesterday yesterday that I just agreed to this because this seemed like a way to get a connect towards Davies. So yeah, hopefully it's the former and he could use the safe room. And if it's the guns, I'm gonna have to figure. I'm not gonna have you in the middle of this because I'm the one that gave him my name. I got to figure this out.
It'd be art.
Thanks. So uh, I I get up. I want to go get. I want to get out of the secret room, and I want to see carefully. I want to see if there. If do I hear anybody outside from the door? Do I hear commotion? Do I hear anything going on?
As you open the safe room and go out into the bar area, you hear the sound of a car start suddenly from right outside, and then you hear it drive off. And after a moment, you see a thin wafer of a girl kind of step into the bar. And she first kind of looks towards the bar area itself, and then she turns in the direction of the safe room, and she kind of sees you, and she holds up her hand. She's like, "Hi, hi, hi. You're Erickson, yes?"
Oh, well, you've caught me at a disadvantage here. Yes, I am Erickson Wood, and who do I have the pleasure of speaking to this fine evening?
She holds up her hand, and then she puts it back down really awkwardly. She's like, I'm Leslie. I'm Leslie Thatcher. I'm one of the Harpies. I was sent to let you know that there's going to be an Elysium on the 25th. Miss,
On the
Bir-
25th.
Miss Birmingham wants everyone who can be present to be present. Um, so yeah, that's all.
Um, excuse me, Leslie. Thank you for coming in and giving me that information. And by the way, welcome to my establishment. And I look around and I see that it's still trash, right?
Yeah.
And so, I like a proud father of trash. I show around. I'm like, thank you for coming in today to the establishment. But is that really all you came here for? Was just to advise me of this?
Yeah, that's what we do. Sheriff Green told me and Tulip to get the word out to everybody.
Ah, Tulip. I know her quite fondly.
She asked me
Uh,
to deliver this message.
I suppose. So I can at least have two hands this time. And I laughed to myself for a little bit. Obviously, she has no idea what I'm talking about.
No, but she laughs too.
Yeah. Um, and so where is this happening?
Uh, it will be at the Elahe Country Club.
And considering we've had Elysium, this is the second time she's calling Elysium in short order. May I ask what is the reason for Elysium at this time?
Oh, I don't. He said not to say anything unless I was specifically asked. So I guess. Um, you see her kind of look down at her shoes, and she gets lost for a moment, and then she comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So it's there's a contention in the city as Alessandra has claimed um, wanting to join the tower, and so we have to have a trial to see which one is more useful.
La Sombra. Okay.
Mhm.
I've met a couple in my time. Do you know who's requesting the invitation into the tower?
you see her turn around like if somebody had called her name, and after a moment she turns back towards you. Yeah, it's Albert Frost and Michelangelo Arturo Bonelli.
Okay, I know Michelangelo. You said Albert
Albert
Frost?
Frost. Yeah.
Albert. I mean, Albert. I'm looking. I turn to the side. I'm thinking. I know I've heard that name before.
Erickson. It's the British one with the glasses.
She nods.
And I look over. I look over at Mustang. I go. I thought that was Alfred. What? Wait. So I look over and I'm like astonished. So you're telling me this whole time this guy's name was actually Albert?
That's what I was told. Albert Frost.
Oh, wow. Learn something new every day. Okay. All right. And this trial is decide obviously who goes in and who's being culled, I imagine then.
I guess I don't. And she kind of again looks past you, like she's
I'm Mhm.
lost something in the distance behind you, but all there is behind you is just a wall. And then she comes back to you. What were we talking about?
Let me ask, do you mind if I ask what you're looking for? I see that you're a little preoccupied. I understand there's something going on?
No, it's just you know. And then she just
I start
stops.
I start laughing and I want to roll to see. I want to find out whether or not this is something she's obviously hiding from me.
Okay. Make a wits and insight roll.
That's 6, and I still have 1 hunger.
Mhm.
All right, 2 on the hunger. 2 10s, 2 2s, 1 7.
Okay. That's 5 successes. It is not an act. Whatever she's doing, it is full on who she is.
All right, Leslie. Thank you so much for coming through here. And my apologies. This is the first time I meet another Harpy, uh, besides Tulip, of course. And um, who who by any chance is your sire? If you don't mind me
Oh,
asking.
I don't talk about him. He he wasn't a good man. So the best thing that could have happened was the night he died.
Hmm.
But yeah, if you don't have any questions and you see her suddenly look out the door, and
Yes. Who was it that dropped you off here?
after a moment, after a long quiet moment, she slowly turns back to you. I drove. I drove myself. Do you need a ride somewhere?
Um, no. In fact, I'll walk you out.
And she immediately like rushes to the door uh, to not be behind you. And you see her just kind of like meekly make her way out in front of you. Okay, bye.
I make sure that the door stays open so I can see where this person is going.
Yeah, and she walks across the street. Does not look in either direction. Just kind of crosses the street. A car almost hits her and has to swerve not to. But she gets into what looks to be just this kind of station wagon. Turns it over, lowers the window. Like you see her just with her left hand, just kind of doing a circular motion to lower the window. And then she kind of waves her hand out to you. Bye! and she cuts off another car as she kind of pulls into traffic and drives towards her next stop.
Hmm. I like that girl. Turn around and so I noticed there's no cops. There's nothing outside in the front.
No
It is
cops.
clear at this point.
It's clear.
Now I'm looking around and this place is still a mess.
Yeah. You see the pickup truck with the kind of short trailer that you've seen before, kind of parked outside the last call, pull up across the street, and out of the driver's seat you see the older gentleman that you've seen around Andreas before, and he kind of pulls up, waves his hand at you, kind of looks both ways, crosses the street. I thought there'd be some more police presence out here. I'm glad there's nobody out here.
Do I recognize who this person is?
I don't think you've ever been introduced to him. Like
Okay.
formally, but you do know that he's one of the free souls, and you know that he hangs out with Andreas.
Okay. Sure. Well, you and me both. This is actually a lucky happenstance that I just come to this establishment and I see that there's no more presents whatsoever. I don't think I know you formally. You know me, obviously, and I know that you're with Andreas. May I have your name so I can
He
greet you formally?
he extends his hand. You can call me Shepard.
I extend my hand out to him to shake it.
It's a strong shake, and
I mean,
not as strong as yours, but it is a good firm handshake. And he kind of looks around. And he's like, "All right, good. I think it's safer for me to get the boss out then." And you see him cross back over across the street, and he goes into the trailer. You can see him. You hear the sound of a motorcycle turning on, and you see him kind of wheel it out. Parks it, turns it off, goes inside. This is when Andreas hears the heavy thud of the wake up call. We're at the bar, boss. No police. And
okay.
you see him come back out. Is a young lady around? There's a young lady
Can you be a little more specific?
in your group, right? There's the two of you and the young lady.
Yeah. Right inside, actually.
All right, good. I have a message.
Oh, by all means, deliver it.
He just holds out a folded piece of paper. Should I give it to you? Should I give it to her?
Who's it meant for?
They told me to give it to her.
Sure, I'll take that to her. Not a problem.
All right.
Put that in my pocket.
Okay.
Look at it, hold it to the light.
Reading my mail.
Yeah, but you see him look around. He lights up a cigarette. He's like, the boss should take a few minutes to wake up, but once he's out, I'll let him know that you're both inside. And you see him take a long drag.
I do appreciate it, Shepard. You happen to see anything that looks out of the ordinary besides obviously what's usually out of the ordinary? Give a whistle if you can. Appreciate it.
You betcha.
Turn around and walk back into the bar.
Yep.
And I look around and I'm like, man, I'm really gonna need a ghoul because this place is horrendous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to figure that one out. So I'm saying this to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying, ghouls are handy.
Yep. So I say all this as I'm walking back. I believe Mustang is still inside the room.
I'm outside of the room. I was in like the main bar area.
Okay. So you heard all of that transpire outside.
And I walk up and I give her the note. I don't read it.
Some people don't have secrets in this group.
Well, I mean, I give my word, so as long as I give my word, that's if you don't hear me say the words, I promise.
Yeah,
That doesn't.
touche.
So I give that to her, and I go into the back. I'm gonna see what I can do about this situation with this place, and I'm gonna go into the back to where the phone is. I make 2 calls.
Okay.
First, is there a yellow book, yellow pages?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So I rifle through the yellow pages, and I want to see if there's any earmarks, anything that of cleaning services, anybody that Sam would have used prior. Obviously, if she would have marked it, that's somebody that she would have wanted to use over again.
There is exactly one dog-eared page in each of the books. The A through K and the A through L and the M through Z. The A through K has the cleaners. The L through Z has a gun range.
Good to know.
But those are the
So-
only earmarks in each of the books.
So I want to make that call then to the cleaner.
You hear a voice pick up. This is Randall. How can I help you?
Hey, Randall. My name is Erickson. Just calling tonight, and I'm glad that you're able to answer at this time. I was trying to see. I'm the new owner of the Last Call Bar over here in Salem, and I'm trying to see if we can get somebody to come in to clean this place up a bit.
You hear the phone kind of shift, like it's going from one ear to the other. He's like, "Yeah, give me a second, boss." And you hear the phone kind of muffle, almost like it's being put to somebody's shoulder or chest, and you can hear the kind of, yeah, this is a private call. Give me some time here. Let me get this." And you hear another voice. "Oh yeah, sure, yeah. I'll be outside smoking a cigarette." And then the voice comes back. Erickson, normally when we get called for our evening clientele, like Miss Crushing was, we have a code word to make sure that whoever is picking up the phone is privy to the cleaning you would need. So if the next time you call and somebody picks up the phone that isn't me, just ask them what shade of green the Willamette is for St. Patty's Day. And if they don't give you the word vermilion, you do not need to go any further with them. You can ask for myself or Judith. Either one of us knows what your people require.
You are straight and to the point, and I do love that. Thank you so much.
Sure.
What's the word I'm looking for again? I do apologize.
Vermilion.
Vermilion. Thank you very much. All right.
Excuse me.
Well,
he's like, "Is this going to be a standard cleaning, or do you need our more elaborate services?"
Well, for right now, this is all cosmetic. Just there's nothing too out of the ordinary. I just need you to just clean out the actual bar itself, at least the area, because it's pretty run down. I don't think it's going to be as bad as what you're used to deal with. However,
is there
yeah?
blood?
Oh, most certainly.
Okay. Yeah. Does it need to be done today? Tonight?
I mean, I would appreciate it if it was done tonight.
Okay. So an express order.
Mm-hmm.
Standard cleaning is 2,500. Express adds 1,500 on top of that.
I think I can manage that.
Okay. Will require the fee upon completion. I should
Mhm.
have a team out there within the hour. Or are you going to stick around if somebody has access to the building? Is access going to be allowed if nobody's there?
I will say that there'll be at least one person here. It's either myself, Erickson. If I don't introduce myself as Eric the Red when you get here, obviously that's not me. There is also Mustang.
Like a car?
Nah, like the car, if you want to remember it that way.
I mean, are
She
we
is
looking for a car that's parked outside that's a Mustang?
no, you're
Oh,
looking for a woman that's just as tough. So,
okay.
uh, she's straight. She's very seldom soft spoken, to the point. You'll know exactly who it is when you speak to her.
Gotcha.
Either one of us. If neither of us are here available, then I would suggest. Well, hmm, 'cause we might be leaving. You said within the hour, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah. No, that's fine. It'll be either myself or another person named Mustang.
I will let you know, uh, Erickson, since you're the new owner. Miss Crushing has given us a pair of keys. All our clients give us access to their locations. Uh, so even if you're not there, like I just want you to know that we do have access. It's just it's better if somebody's there.
Of course, and considering this will be the first time that I use your services, as experienced as you are, I would love to see the person that is going to be, cleaning this establishment, and they can see me.
Sure.
More importantly,
Yeah. I'm going to be in charge of the crew, but I do have somebody that I'm training named Wyatt, who I hope to uh, be able to bring into the kind of council of trusted members of our understanding.
I do appreciate this very much. Of course, I'll be here. If anything, you just call. Like I'll be here when you get here within the hour.
Sure. All right. We'll see you in a bit. And he hangs up.
All right. Well, that went easier than I thought. And then this is a rotary phone, obviously. So
Mm-hmm.
you go, and I'm calling my contact as far as
Oh, blue eyes.
yeah, Blue Eyes.
Okay. Takes a moment, but you hear the phone pick up. Yeah. What can I do for you?
Blue Eyes Erickson.
Well, I thought you died.
Yeah, I already did that. That was years ago, sir.
Hmm.
So, and I laugh. How's tricks?
Uh, I'm alive. Um, that Grant Reynolds guy just kind of stopped bothering us. So can't complain.
Hmm. Well, I understand, but what I wanted to find out is if you've gotten any information about oh my God, I already forgot. I already forgot his name.
Andrew
This guy that we
Givens.
just Andrew Gibbons, thank you. Oh my God, I'm
Uh,
looking at my notes.
there's so many names.
Yeah, I know that I
Uh,
care about.
yeah. He's like, yeah, I thought we already talked about that. The guy's a ghost. He had a couple businesses. Two of them burnt down. The other one's been sold. Um,
Told to who?
give me a second, and you can hear some paperwork being rifled through. He's like, there's an A.M. Davies on the transfership of ownership,
Uh, and I say under my breath, sack of shit.
right?
Well, what is the location of that establishment? I like using the word establishment today.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. It's in the south part of town.
So I just drive to the south and then I'll find it.
Yeah, it's He had the florist shop burnt down, the bookstore burnt down. Oh,
This place will burn down.
probably. Um, yeah, he has something in the south part of town. Um,
What do you know the name?
yeah, you see him. You can hear the rifling of the paperwork, and he's just like, "It's give me a second. I had it written down in one of these papers, and it's just there. It is. It's an antique shop called Once Again."
Called Once Again.
Mhm.
All right. How long ago was this change of hands when it came to that place?
Looks to be about 3 weeks ago.
Well, oh man. Uh, right now Erickson is seething through the phone.
Hmm.
So much so that it is very hard for me to keep that under tow. By the way, Blue Eyes,
Hmm.
have you heard anything? I know that the last time I asked you about looking for an Elizabeth Guernsey, you had some problems. Did you get anything else besides that? Anything else new come up in your area?
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
this bitch is from California. Like she is an LA bitch. Uh,
mhm. What does she look like?
I don't have any of that information. I only have paperwork that's been passed down to me. She used to own a mechanic shop. Um, she has a couple of APBs that have been out for her arrest in LA. Uh, but get this, she came into town with Grant Reynolds.
Oh, I'm well aware of that, good sir.
Okay.
But I do appreciate you trying to give me some gossip. I'm trying not gossip, some hot take, which I already know.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, Graham Reynolds beat you to it.
Okay.
Okay. One couple of things here. As far, what do you know about this area called the Horn Section? Is it used for anything other than just being a jazz club?
I didn't even know that place existed. You want me to look into it?
Can you do me a favor and look under, as far as Antoine Malcolm Davies? I want to find out as much information that you can find out for me that you don't already know.
Okay, sure. It'll be difficult.
Um, he has a number of establishments, which apparently now there's a connection between him and somebody that we're looking for, Andrew. So if you happen to come across anything any information about him, please swing it my way. And this phone number I'm calling you from now is from my bar that I own. The Last Call,
All right. Let me write it down. What is it?
Last Call Bar.
Yeah, he writes it down.
Mhm.
All right. You got a fax I can send something over to?
Did Sam have a fax machine in the office?
If she did, it's buried somewhere and forgotten and never really probably used properly.
No fax, unfortunately, but I can give you the address if you have a contact that is trusted that wants to if you want to bring them over to this area.
All right, yeah, I could send a runner down.
Okay. Runner, possibly soon to be ghoul. Awesome.
I,
Sorry, I don't say that out
yeah,
loud.
yeah. I took some pictures that might be interesting.
Pictures of what?
You hear the phone shift from one ear to the other. The city.
Okay. What about the city?
I think you once you see them, you'll know.
Not cryptic at all, Blue Eyes.
You know,
I appreciate your work. Thank you so much, sir.
yeah.
You have a good night.
You too. He hangs up.
Yeah. Oh man, once these cleaners get here, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm going straight. So, I walk out. I walk out back to find Mustang.
Okay. Well, you're gonna find Mustang and somebody else. Because while you were making your phone calls, through the door, you see Mustang. You see Saif come in. He is banged up. He is pretty badly hurt. It looks like he must have slept in the dirt, buried himself or something, because he is dirty. He is not like the usual clean cut appearance that he tries to keep for himself.
So is he like coming into the bar? Or is he outside?
No, yeah, he's stumbles into the bar, and you see that Teddy is helping him. And Teddy's like, I saw him in the alley. He was asking for you, so I brought him over. I hope you don't mind that I am in this establishment. It doesn't look like it's serving people, though, so I think I am okay. Yes?
Thank you, Teddy. Thank you, Teddy. You are always welcome here. And your cats.
Yeah, and you see the three of them kind of, once they hear that, they come in through the threshold.
Yes. I'm more hyped to see the cats than Saeed. But you know, she sees the cats, gives them like a little moment, and then
Yeah.
like, oh my god, you're right.
Yeah,
Saif, what happened?
while you're with the cats, like Teddy will go over and put him in a chair.
No, I mean I don't go towards the cats. I give them
Yeah.
like a
Oh no,
little
they
like
come towards you,
oh yeah.
and like they just circle you until they get their attention. And while they're doing that, like Teddy goes over and puts him in a chair.
Amazing. Okay, well she can't deal with the cats right now.
Yeah.
Saif, what happened?
I found Andrew. I was not prepared for what he had done to himself.
Where did you find Andrew?
In the north side of the city, just on the outskirts of Hayesville. I believe it's called Northgate. There was a group of apartments called Orchard Park. Traced him through there.
How did you grab his trail?
It took some doing, but some of the blood that we scraped off from his murder dungeon led me to him.
When was this?
This was last night. He has access to abilities that we were not aware of, Mustang.
Quick question.
Mm.
We saw him last night, right?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. So what happened? Did you go into Orchard Park?
I did. I followed the ritual until it took me to an apartment. I thought I was being careful. It's not. And he was already ready for something to come through the door. He had protrusions like a hedgehog coming out from his spine, from his ribs. He had exposed bone that was knife sharp and it's pointed as a stiletto. Skin was tough like rock. He grew to be over 9 feet tall, almost monstrous. This is
Did
not a man that I can take out alone.
Did this happen in front of you, or
Oh,
did that? So
he
you
was
went
like
into
that
an apartment.
when I got there.
So you went into an apartment where you thought he was,
Mm.
and he was just there in this form.
I followed the ritual where he should have been. That should have been him in the apartment, not whatever that was.
Do you think it was him, or do you think it was just another creature?
If it is him, he has done something unspeakable. And you see him take some of his blood and he draws a symbol on the table. I will upload it later, but as far as what it looks like, I can try to describe it for you.
Have I seen it before?
You could try to make an intelligence. Have you make an intelligence and science roll, or occult, whichever you'd like.
Not great. I'm at hunger too. So 2 and 6 on the hunger and 3 on the not hunger.
Okay. You don't recognize it. It looks kind of like a very crude stick figure. There's a cross and there's a triangle on top of the cross, kind of like an arrow pointing up, but with a cross crossing it.
Mm.
Um,
Like the Deathly Hallows, if the Elder One was a cross.
Kind of like the arrow. The arrowhead is just a regular kind of non-bisected triangle, and then the cross is underneath the triangle itself.
Okay.
But it is attached to the bottom edge of the triangle. And
What's that, Saif?
that is an alchemical symbol. I've not seen it in some time. Honestly, there are no rituals that we use anymore that use this. This is the symbol for sulfur.
And he just drew it, right?
Mhm.
Like in front of. And why did you just draw it here?
By itself, it does nothing. It's scientific. Must be used in combination with others and with the intent of blood sorcery. At any point during this, Andreas can walk in.
Um, did you see this symbol where you were?
It was carved into his chest.
Oh, I see. And what happened to you?
I tried to fight him. I lost.
Is there anything you remember? Anything at all about the place, about the creature?
It is monstrous. The quills can be launched from his back. The ones shoot from his forearm or his knees, however, are hardened and fastened to his body so they cannot be fired, but they're still deadly.
Did you run?
Had to survive. Warn you in your coterie. To seek Andrew Gibbons is to seek death.
Not if there's more than one of us.
He nods.
Do you need anything?
I need to feed. Need help to
Should
hunt.
feed soon. Yeah. Thank you, my friend.
He nods.
You're very brave.
Eddie comes over, picks him up like a princess. I will take him to go feed then.
Thank you, Teddy.
This
I
is
wanna
this is
pet the cats.
okay. Yeah, this is when Erickson comes out.
I wanna grab one of the cats and just like hold the cat.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't believe what I just. And then as I walk out, and I see Teddy. I've met Saif,
Mhm.
and he's all messed up. And then I see Mustang with a cat.
Yep.
And
And Andreas, having recently arrived in the room, I just stayed quiet.
Okay.
and you know, no one invited me to this party. What's going on here?
Likes you, dog.
So Saif found Andrew.
Okay, Teddy, you found Andrew?
Eddie shakes his
Teddy
head.
found Andrew.
Saif found Andrew.
Saif found Andrew. And like, and obviously I look at Saif and I go, obviously this didn't end. This didn't end in the up and up that I imagine it would.
He shakes his head. The usurper is still alive. He's deadly. He has learned abilities that are beyond him and myself.
Deadly how?
He has.
He,
It looks like he has the abilities of Mustang's clan. The true ability to forge his own musculature, his own bone into other things. He was monstrous, Erickson. 9 feet tall, with quills protruding from his spine and ribs.
and I'm trying to recall what Andreas and Mustang told me before, because I got knocked out by a gargoyle. So I'm just making sure that this is not what this is.
No, well, I mean, well, what that was, we killed anyway, and the 9 feet tall, all the different additions. That's way more advanced. Whatever this was, remember, I killed it with a shotgun blast.
Yeah.
So
Right, but
that thing,
Saif didn't have a shotgun. He just kind of went in there, I guess,
yeah,
barehanded.
and with most of us, a shotgun blast isn't going to kill any full blown K-Knight. So
It'll hurt.
yeah, I mean, it'll hurt like a motherfucker, but we can
Hmm.
survive it for the most part.
And this was last night.
He nods.
And this was where was this at? And so I'm just catching up to everything. So
I found him just outside of Northgate by Hayesville in Orchard Park Apartments.
What apartment number?
26.
You said Hayesville,
Near Hayesville, yes.
near Hayesville. Okay. Well, my boys will be rough. My boys will be around that area, but at least nearby if we need them. We have some good news though. Apparently, Givens has been pissing off his own clan. Even
how so?
one of them came to talk to me last night, and I can't. I don't know about this blood magic shit. But this guy's really on the outs. He was pointing out some of the stuff back from the flower shop that I redecorated. This guy was into some straight up demonic shit. Like some of the runes, whatever were carved on the walls were things that the Tremere normally wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. And I mean, this guy seems to be Andrew seems to be looking for power in whatever sources he can find. I mean, to the point where some of his former colleagues have actually decided to assist us in helping us find him.
Funny you mentioned about colleagues. You know, I just found out that the third place that Andrew owned was recently bought up by somebody else. That antique shop. There's an antique shop down south. That was bought up 3 weeks ago by somebody. Malcolm Davies.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's the description of this place? Okay, they had the antique shop.
Yeah. It's the antique shop that I have here. It's called Once Again. It's located in South Salem. I don't think it'll be too hard to find, especially since we have the name.
I think we should do this a little more subtly. We've been bashing our faces through the doors a little hard, and we might have a way to actually tell if Andrew's in there before we go in the building.
Okay. Uh, I'm just
Do you
right
have
now.
a way?
Erickson's like, and how would we know if he's there?
Do you have a way?
Did did you just?
Yeah.
The
Hold on.
the antique shop is off of Trade Street and 17th. Just so you're aware.
Okay. How far is that from the area that Saif ran into him in Orchard Park,
It's on the opposite side of town.
opposite side of town? But he had a whole night to get back. At this point, he could be anywhere.
He's got mirrors, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
he uses that. If he's using that transportation method, the actual distance between spots is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
He's
All right.
smart for a biker.
Well, I'm just letting everybody know right now that we got some cleaning crew coming in here to clean this place up so we can start using this up again. And once they get here, I honestly think that we got to finish this. We have to finish this at some point. Also, it looks like we're being called up for Elysium again on the 25th of this month. Apparently, there's going to be a trial for somebody that's going to be getting into the tower.
I've been invited to 2 fancy parties inside of a month. This is amazing.
Yeah. And one of them that is trying to get into the Camarilla is what's his name now? Albert Frost, who's part of that coterie that we ended up meeting with Detective Wright.
Yeah, the ex-professor of the Atlantean research.
Yeah, I always thought his name was Alfred. This is all news to me. But yeah, we got a lot to do right now, and I look over at Teddy. I'm like, Teddy, I don't know if anybody's told you, but you are welcome here if you need to stay. And I point over to that room, to the secret room there, in case you ever need solace, sanctuary.
Eddie appreciates it. It has been difficult to find place for kids when it rains.
And then I see the cats.
Petting the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the cats. I'm like, obviously Mustang can take care of that part for you. I don't think that'll be a problem.
You see him bend down and he calls all the cats over, and the one in Mustang's hands kind of squirms out of them, and they all line up in front of him, and you see him talk to them in Russian. And he just kind of like, he's still holding Saif like a princess, like he's just talking to them, and it sounds like this very caring, very doting, attention-giving father figure. And all the cats, there's a moment where he kind of nods at them, and he's like, "Did you understand?" And all the cats, you just hear meow, and they come back over and they kind of circle around Mustang.
He's like Gru with animal magnetism.
Huh. Yeah, but he's like, "I will take these men to go help hunt. I will come back once we are prepared. Do whatever needs to be done." Yes. And as he's about to leave, excuse me, you hear a very soft knock on the frame of the door, And you see Michelangelo just kind of like look into the bar. Knock knock. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Ooh.
This is a big boy. And he kind of like points at Teddy. But he quickly kind of skirts around him and lets him out.
Yeah. Well, welcome. I wasn't expecting you. I wasn't expecting you to be here so soon. Welcome by all means. Come right in.
Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. I had seen that Miss Thatcher has started telling people about the Elysium, so I decided to make myself over here and get some protection, if you know what I'm saying.
All right. What is it that you're looking for in particular?
I think something with some stopping power, but also elegant. I must have an elegant weapon. You know, I cannot walk around with something unsightly.
All right.
And he kind of turns slowly to look at Andreas. Who is this?
I look over at Erickson looks over at Andreas to see if he's going to introduce himself. If not, I'll do it. It's fine.
Do you want to introduce me to your classy friend?
Well, this is Andreas Barker. He's part of my coterie.
I thought it was just the two of you. This is excellent. The more the merrier, I always say.
So Andreas, he's looking for some stopping power.
But elegant, it must be elegant.
Well, define elegant. Do you need it rapid fire? Do you like a taste of the past? Maybe something in a revolver that doesn't jam?
No revolvers. I don't like the clicking noise.
Okay.
Must be like a rapier, but a gun.
A rapier, but a gun. Hmm. One moment. I walk back
Does
to
this guy know what a pistol is? Because like this is an actual knife at a gunfight thing.
maybe, and I look. Are you looking for something that is flashy enough, but is able to at least take down somebody that's close enough in front of you? I imagine.
Yes, yes. Nothing petite, if it makes sense. But nothing monstrous either. I'm not Clint
Looking
Eastwood.
for a bayonet.
No,
Happening.
no. He's looking for a gun, but he wanted to. He thinks he's. This guy thinks this is Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio, and he wants a rapier that's a gun. So
Like if we're gonna give him Mercutio's dagger 9mm.
yeah, exactly. Allow me just a moment, and I look. I know that she was small. I know that she would sell guns, so she must have a cache somewhere, and I imagine that cache was in where the flood is right now.
Probably, yeah.
Probably. All right. Uh, before I leave, when do you need this by? You're needing something that's for tonight?
Yes, preferably, as I might have people coming after me because of the Elysium announcement.
Do I have any of the free souls nearby? Because I mean,
Shepard's around, and he does
yeah,
have your trailer.
yeah. Let me go to my trailer and see what I can find. I beg off for a minute and see if I can go find something.
Okay.
And while Andreas, thank you very much, good sir. May I ask, why is it that you need protection from Elysium? Since Elysium was called.
It is my name. I am the one petitioning for the place in the tower.
That's right. You along with
I don't
you
know
along with
who is faithful to Albert.
hmm.
He must have made friends while he was here.
So you're thinking that these people that you're thinking that friends of Albert are going to be the ones that are coming for you, is what you're saying.
Yes, yes. I know he has 2 members in his coterie, so I must be able to take them out if I have to.
Oh, of course. Let me. Have you seen the cats? And I point over
Oh,
at the
they're
cats.
gone. They're gone.
Oh, they're gone.
No, no, you didn't say that the cats were gone.
Oh, they left with Teddy.
You didn't say the cats were gone. They were
Oh,
still like circling
um,
her.
now they're gone.
Damn it.
Hmm. All right. Well, you know what? If Mustang, if you can do me the honor of just entertaining this our guest here while I go ahead and I check in the back area for anything on my end that we can provide.
I whisper over to Erickson. Do I look like somebody that entertains people?
When you do me a solid this one time.
I know what y'all saying. She entertains the fuck out of me most days.
So, I go to the back to where the flood would be.
Okay.
Well, first I want to go actually no, before I do that, I want to go to the back where the office is,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go ahead and search because there's no way that Sam does not have a weapon of her own there.
Oh, she does. She does. The just a simple cursory search of the office will net you a shotgun in the boudoir, in the kind of what's it called? The thing that you go to Narnia through, the wardrobe. There's a shotgun in there. Underneath, taped to the underneath of the drawer, the little kind of like thin drawer in the center of her desk is a 38 special. In the coat rack, on the coat rack, there is a another 38 special. And then there's a couple of drawers that are marked references, but they're just filled with like quick loaders. There's like a dozen quick loaders.
Returning from the truck, did I have anything out there?
Yeah,
Anything
there's a small duffel bag that you have a couple of shotguns in. You would have maybe a 1911. Definitely, you would have a Peacemaker because Shepard has a hard on for that gun. And he even tells you, he's like, if you can avoid selling that, I would appreciate it.
Oh, I fucking pull that one out of the bag and just drop it right into Shepard's pocket. Like, come on.
But yeah, you've got a couple of revolvers and you have a couple of 45s.
Okay. Well, I'll bring them back into to our gentleman friend and see if anything strikes his fancy.
Okay.
I want to be able to walk out with what I found, but don't want to show him just yet. I want to see if I can catch Andreas before he walks in with what he's bringing.
Now you're coming in from 2 separate sides of the bar, so you'll have to do that with your kind of glance. So let's see if Andreas can pick up on that with a wits and insight check. While you two are looking, he kind of is left alone with Mustang, and you see him pull up one of the stools and he kind of sits down. What clan are you, if I can be so bold as to ask, pretty lady?
Stone face. What clan are you?
I am Sombra. I'm a speaker for the dead. Just like my sire was.
Who's your sire?
Isabella Gianelli. You must have heard of her. She's Albert's
Have I heard of her?
sire. Yeah, you have.
What do I know about her?
She managed to win over a lot of the Camarilla by becoming what's known as a speaker for the dead, because she could see and speak to dead people. She could force interactions with ghosts. And so a lot of the Sabbat hated the fact that she betrayed their ideals for the safety of the tower. But after 1980, like all of that disappeared with the Sabbat at the beckoning, and she was a part of Geraldine Birmingham's court for since the beginning until recently when she just kind of left the city.
I know of her.
She is very popular.
Yeah.
She
I'm a Smeetsy.
Oh, the dragons. I would definitely like to build a relationship with you then, if I'm allowed to be in the tower.
He says nothing.
He smiles. What do you hoard?
Hoard?
Hmm.
What do you mean?
All of your clansmen find the need to hoard something. What do you hoard?
No, you're totally out of the.
Wouldn't you like to know?
That's why I asked.
She rolls her eyes. Books.
Excellent. I'll try to make sure that anywhere that I go that I bring back a book for you.
Thank you.
I know how to make friends. Yes.
Does he seem genuine?
He seems like he's trying to sell himself to you.
I figured.
He doesn't want to be
Cool.
cast off the island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like she's used to this kind
Yeah.
of interaction. So
He does kind of hop off the stool. He steps over to her. Do you know Albert by any chance?
Albert Frost,
Hmm.
the guy that's obsessed with Atlantis
Hmm.
for some strange reason.
I admit it was cute the first few years, but gets old
Cute the first
fast.
time. It is very old, yes. She kind of chuckles.
You see
It's quite annoying, actually.
he smiles as you warm up to him, or what he believes is warming up to him, and he kind of reaches out and grabs a tendril of your hair.
Absolutely not. No. She steps away very quickly.
Okay. He holds his hand up, and then I apologize. I thought that we were becoming friends.
Absolutely not. And I walk away. She needs to walk away.
Okay. Yeah.
Or I guess she can go to where Erickson is.
Yeah. Yeah. You walk over as he's walking out back to be with the rest of the group, and you see Andreas kind of walking in at the same time. How many successes did Andreas get?
2.
2?
Mm-hmm.
He would see that Erickson sees you walk in with a duffel bag, but he kind of opens his eyes a little wide at you, and then kind of, I would imagine you're motioning, like you're tilting your head towards your direction more than towards wherever Michelangelo is.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny?
Well, clearly he's trying to signal me, so I mean it's a 10 and
Well,
it's a 10 and 8 enough for me to get it.
I mean,
How do you want to signal him?
when I walk in, when I walk back into the bar and I see Andreas,
Yeah, you see Mustang beelining towards you.
I see Mustang beelining towards me, and I see Andreas, but I see Andreas walking in first too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So, I want, when I look at Andreas, I want to widen out my eyes a bit, and then I glance I look at Mustang, look back at him, look back at Mustang, look back at him as quickly as I could, so you can see what I'm. That's my signal.
Okay.
And as
You're saying huddle up.
no, and as that's happening, Mustang's walking up to me,
Mhm.
and as I'm walking, as we're doing this, right, as we're walking up, I'm just going to whisper to Mustang, whatever we give him, fuck it up. Whatever we give him, fuck it up. And then I just keep walking past her, and I leave what I have found with her,
Yep.
and I walk up to him, and I'm like, "Sir, while we're looking over, I imagine Andreas just brought something in, and I believe Mustang is going to look over what we have for you. I wanted to ask just a few questions about art because I've been heavily interested in that." And I put my arm over impeccable. I'm going to try to use impeccable lie so that as much as I can to distract him from. And obviously, as I'm doing that, I'm glancing over at Andreas like, oh, as I turn him.
Okay.
I know this could go shit all, but here we go.
This can go shit all very quickly. Like if I'm supposed to mess up a gun or something, I'm supposed to give him the first time he test fires it, he's gonna know it's fucked.
You said whatever we give him, fuck it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's have. Are you trying? What are you trying to sell him on?
The fact that if he's friends with Andrew Davies, he's a friend of mine.
Okay. Yeah, so let's have you roll manipulation and subterfuge.
Yes.
So that would normally be 4, 5, 6. You get one more die because of your impeccable lies. 7. One of them is a hunger dice. So
yes, I know. Fun times.
yeah,
Oh, this would be a great time for a messy critical, wouldn't it?
this would be a great time for a messy critical.
But that's not the case. So 6 on the hunger, 9, 9, 8. I'm sorry, wait. 9, 9, 8, 4, 3, and a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 successes.
5 successes.
Okay. So yeah, so he follows you to wherever you're leading him. And the whole while just listening intently, and every so often he just kind of like nods in agreement. But yeah, he kind of, after a moment of talking about like Renaissance painters and like how he went from actual paintings to sculptures and then back again, and how he just kind of would love the two mediums coming together. He turns around and he's just like, very well. Let me see what you have to offer, and I will see if I take anything with me.
Of course. I look over at Andres. I go, I look over at Mustang. I believe she has the 45. And what type of 45 is this? Or am I just gonna be Erickson talking out of my ass?
The two guns in the back are 38. They're like Saturday Night Specials. Snub nose.
Okay. You didn't say that there was a 45 back there?
Andreas had 45s.
Oh, Andreas had the 45. Oh, and the shotgun. Is this the sawed-off shotgun, by the way?
Nope, it's double-barreled.
Breech loader.
Breech loader.
Breech loader. All right. Yeah, that's not gonna sell on this guy.
I don't know if it's rapier elegant enough for him.
However, quick loader. What the quick loaders? What
They're basically they're little round things that have 6 bullets already kind of lined up for revolvers. Just pop them in.
Okay, I get you.
Speed loaders.
Yep.
Speed loader. Okay, I get you. Well, you told me you don't like revolvers, is that right?
Yes, I find them to be inelegant.
I mean, you and me can defer. We can disagree all day. That's actually my favorite type of pistol. But, Andreas, do you have anything on your end?
Let's see. We got ourselves a couple of shotguns. Very good for up close and personal damage. So if you're looking for something in the range of a rapier, maybe the shotgun will do you some good.
Hmm.
We also have a couple of 45s here. Served us very well since 1911. This particular one, I say, can actually this one served very well in World War II.
Hmm.
Personal experience.
He picks it up, and you see him kind of like he's holding it like somebody who's never held a gun before. And he just kind of like swings it around. You see him kind of thrusting it forward. This one is it feels very nice in my hand.
That's an excellent choice, actually. Let me see here. You're gonna obviously need bullets with that, and along with that and everything. Is that right?
I mean, if you have them, yes. Otherwise, I can go make a stop on the way home.
So you can throw it at somebody. So,
Is check all right, or do you prefer cash?
Cash, of course. And I take the gun from him, and I say, you know what? Let me go ahead and have Andreas and Mustang wrap this up for you.
You reach for the gun, and he kind of pulls away. He's like, "No, this one is fine." And he puts it into his jacket, like chest pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it fits nicely here. Yes, and then out of his back pocket, he pulls out just a wad of cash that's been kind of rolled up with a rubber band, and he just puts it on the bar top. It's a pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Wood.
snatch the money roll.
It's very important that we clean the gun before we sell it.
Real
Make
quick, out of character, I want to ask. This is the type of guy, from what you said, that does not understand or does not know much about guns.
Yeah, from the way he was holding it, he's just kind of like a little kid who just saw Star Wars and has like one of those plastic blasters in his hand. He's just like swinging it around, pointing it at imaginary antagonists, and kind of like thrusting it forward with every shot.
Yeah, so he might fuck up this gun himself. I mean, he didn't even ask how many rounds. He didn't even ask how many rounds are in the magazine.
Yep.
Right.
But yeah,
Loaded one.
if Mustang wants to try to get it from him, it's gonna be either charisma or manipulation, and subterfuge.
Okay.
Or persuasion.
Oh, no, that was good.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a 7 and 3 in the hunger, then a 1, 7, and 6.
Okay. He looks over at you. You see his eyes narrow. Like, I don't want to do anything to disturb your delicate wiles, miss. Should we let one of the boys clean the gun for me?
I can guarantee you I know how to clean guns better than these two idiots.
I nod my head. Maybe not so much Erickson, but I nod my head.
Can I please have the gun? You'll get it right back, I promise.
He looks at Erickson and Andreas. You would let a woman clean your own gun for you. Surely America has progressed very far.
It's a brave new world.
And he reaches into the coat pocket, and he very, very heavy-handed kind of puts the gun on the counter. Get to work, Bela.
She grabs the gun, goes around the bar, finds a like rag or something, and just like, but is really kind of breaking the shit out of it.
Oh yeah.
Well, you don't really need to do much to it. I mean,
well, Michelle doesn't know how to break a gun, but
I'm saying
Mustang can convincingly fuck the gun up.
She can bend a firing pin or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like bending the firing pin would just be enough.
Make an intelligence firearms check.
Fuck this guy. Use it as a club.
That's a 10 and a 4 on the hunger, and an 8 and a 6.
Okay. Yeah, as you're wiping it down, you kind of slide the barrel out, you slide the pieces out, you kind of make a big show of taking the gun apart for him. He claps condescendingly. There is the amount of disdain that has appeared in his face at a woman doing something for him only makes you more happy to be doing this to him.
Is there a
and-
way I can break it to when he fires it, it's gonna explode in his face?
and it'll explode in his hand.
Alright.
Yeah.
Close
I
enough.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah, if you mess up the firing pin, and who knows what could happen.
yeah. You got enough successes. You can handle that.
And the
Cool.
fact is that this guy's not a savant when it comes to a firearm, so I think we'll be okay.
But yeah, you put it back together again. You give it to him, and he.
Wait, before she hands it over,
Yeah.
I want her to pass it to me.
Okay.
Kind of assuage this guy a little bit. Grab the gun. I forget what type of gun is this again. I'm sorry.
45.
One of my 5s.
The 45. I look in it. I take out the mag, put the mag back in, check to make sure that it has the rounds in it. Look at the firing pin. Pretty much making it look like I'm inspecting the crap out of this,
Yeah.
so that this guy thinks that we're good to go.
Yeah.
Point it around, look over,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, all right. And then I go and I hand it over. Obviously, handle facing towards him.
You notice that there's only 3 bullets in the magazine.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there's only 3.
Yeah.
And as I do that, I look over at Mustang.
You didn't
it's-
tell me not to give him any bullets.
There's only 3. Well, and I look over at Mustang, and I'm like, and I try, I look over like, I nod my head slightly, trying to get her attention with this.
Yeah.
I didn't notice the damn bullets in the barrel.
There wasn't any in the barrel itself. They were all still in the clip. It's
Yeah.
never been primed for firing.
But didn't I pull the thing out? No.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
part of disassembling the gun, you would have taken a round out of the chamber if there was one in it in the first
Right.
place.
Yeah.
Like that's one-on-one stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I signal Andreas. By any chance, you got any bullets there that we can get to this guy?
Of course, I have bullets. And
I
I
was
just
gonna
got
buy some.
bullets. Yeah.
So round that up, pack it up. While I'm inspecting that, I see that I saw that she fucked with the firing pin, messed with the firing pin.
yeah.
I'll slip you. Let me see if I have any in the bag. I can even slip him some 9mm bullets. So something in the wrong size.
That's what I was hoping you were doing, so I could just be like, yeah, we'll just put this like a blunderbuss. We're just gonna put random stuff in this thing and see if it
Yes.
fires.
By the theater shows, I've watched watched a perfectly good gun get quietly butchered.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it's clearly we're trying to make this thing not work for him. So
The inner prop master in me is crying at what you're doing, but I understand what has to happen. Yeah, you fill up the clip with 38
Random.
38 caliber 9mm. There is an extra 45 somewhere in there. He might get to it or not.
Yeah, if it fires, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
some of this shit will fire. It's going to be very weird.
Yeah. So
If it fires at all.
yeah,
Mhm.
he takes it. He kind of smiles at you. He feels the heft of the gun. He's like, "Oh yes, this is heavy. This is a good sword."
This is Boris the Bullet Dodger.
And puts it back in his coat pocket. It's the coat itself starts to drag down the left hand side. So he's like, "No, okay." Puts in the small of his back.
There you go.
They do it.
It's nice doing business with you.
And as far as the wad, how much did he? I didn't even ask for the amount. He just gave me
No.
a wad of cash.
Well, he
I
gave.
snatched it off the
Yeah.
table while you guys were doing with the gun. So as after he leaves, I can leaf through it real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
But yeah, he leaves. And once he does, Shepard kind of walks in, closes the door behind him. I don't mean to be rude, but that motherfucker's creepy.
You're
Yeah.
telling me.
Yeah.
Apparently, he sees ghosts too. Like I'm looking pointedly at Shepard for this one.
Yeah, he's like, fuck, more of them.
Yep. However, keen with a gun, he is not.
Oh, good.
Nope. I'll be surprised if he keeps all his fingers if that thing goes off.
Out of character. I can't wait for that episode when that happens.
We'll see what happens at Elysium.
Woo!
But yeah, you count through the money, and there's $8,000.
How much we got there?
1,000. I'll divvy off 300 for each of them and 4 for myself since it's actually my gun.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave the 3 that I have. I'm leaving it here. Well, I'm gonna leave it in the register and that they have at the bar, or at least in the area.
Mhm.
This is for the cleaners that are coming in tonight, and I shoved that in there. Now, next. So wait. So today is the 11th or the 12th?
Today's the 12th now. You are in the 12th.
And the Elysium's not till the 25th.
Elysium's until the 25th, and the 14th is when you're supposed to meet with Yvette Morrison. If you have found anything with Bahadur Ibn Abbasi.
Yeah. Yvette Morrison. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as Bahadur, I got my guys searching on that.
So, yeah.
We still have the antique shop.
Right, but Yvette Morrison, quote unquote, might meet up with us on the 14th, and if that's the case, we need to scope out that antique shop, like you said. I think we also need to find out from Teddy what else he can find out from the Orchard Park area. Mustang, do you think we need to check the apartment?
I think we should. But not before the antique shop.
What time is it right now? It's still early at the night, right?
It's barely midnight.
Yeah. I think we should go ahead and check out that antique shop. These guys must have gone here by now, the cleaners.
Yes. Once you've done talking to each other about the information you're finding, what you've got, the hooks you've got in the water, Randall shows up, and you see that he's got a crew of about 4, and they just start getting to work.
Randall, Eric the Red, Mustang, Andreas, pleasure to meet you. We have to head out.
All right. We'll close up after ourselves.
Money's in the register.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, I'm ready to get in there.
Go to the antique shop.
Okay. So with the group heading off to the antique shop, I think this is a good portion to call it a night. As always, thank you for being part of this. I love what's happening here. And because I have Cuban ancestry, the majority of us have Cuban ancestry, I want to just take a couple of moments to bring attention to the situation in Cuba because it's been going on since July 11th. It is a terrible situation. My father is Cuban, was Cuban, he's passed now. He left just after Batista fell from power because his parents kind of understood that nothing good could come of the situation. Kenny, you said that both your parents are Cuban. What part of Cuba are they from?
My mom is from Santa Clara,
Okay.
and my dad, I believe, is from Havana proper.
Okay.
But yeah, they came here. Yeah, they came here around the same time. They came here around like in the early '60s.
Yeah.
So this was right during that regime change.
Yeah. I know that a friend of mine, his father came over on the Pedro Pan, the Peter Pan flights, and that's always been one of the things that I would never stop him from talking about is just the kind of stories of parents putting their kids on planes just to hope that they'll have like a better life. Um, and how he had to like come over, he knew nobody when he was over here. And so seeing like the pictures and the videos of what's going on down there, like it breaks my heart. And so I just want to make sure that people understand that things are difficult. You know, having lived in Miami myself most of my life, now having left, one of the big things is not being able to participate in any of the kind of demonstrations and things like that that are happening. And honestly, like I know this might be making light of the situation. One of the things I miss the most is croquetas. I haven't had a croqueta since I left, so
Oh
uh,
man. I mean, I could try to if anything, I could try to get the frozen croquetas and just send them to you in a box.
we'll see what happens. Uh,
Next time me and the wife are on a road trip, we'll bring you some.
ooh boy, but yes,
Get to Colorado in less than 2 days.
yeah, you can, especially with that Thule packed up with that tent. But yeah, if you want to find out how to help, please check out the hashtag SOS Cuba. There's also which one's the other one? The Libertad, hashtag Libertad. Uh, they'll lead you to good sources and kind of show you what's going on. As always, we take mental health here on the channel very seriously. So if you need help, if you want to reach out to anyone, if you're watching us live on Twitch, in the chat as always, I'm putting up phone numbers in case you need to reach out, because mental health should not be hidden behind a wall of stigma or uh, the wall of being a taboo subject. Like, we are in this together. We've had a rough year and a half. I know I've had a rough year and a half. If you're not in the United States, I'm also putting up a link um, so you can find help in your part of the world, whatever that shape may take. You can catch us on Friday for our Star Wars Out in the Dark episode. You can catch me Tuesdays, for the most part, on McStabber Studios with their werewolf game. And once a month, I do have a Dungeons and Dragons game. I believe our next one will be the 25th of September. So look forward to that. And if not, I will see you next Monday for our big Lyceum episode, The Trial of Albert Frost. So please, as always, take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and if you have to, please get the help that you need to get. And I will see you when I see you.